recording. Okay, y'all. So listen. So what's up with it today? So now I want to be doing something a little bit different, right? So we finna be talking about integrating the actual darkness inside of, right? But I'm not finna just be talking about, oh, just play with the darkness, do whatever. No, no. I'm finna teach y'all exactly why and how it should be used. You know what I'm saying? For the betterment of who you actually are, right? Real talk. And why am I making this? Because I want people to truly understand this. Is that life in the world that we live in, it's all, I'm talking about fun and games, right? A lot of times there are a lot of painful situations that people have to go through. And a lot of times people don't have the mental strength or the mental fortitude to be able to withstand all the shortcomings in the bombardment of life. Real talk, right? So now that's why I have this title, right? Integrating the darkness within you. You know what I'm saying? For a power unknown to you, right? Because the things I'm about to go over in this little short PowerPoint presentation is really, if you really sit there and listen and actually understand what the hell I'm talking about, this shit will help you a lot, right? Because they teach us those negative emotions are just only negative. And while I mean, there is truth to that, but however, you can take all that pain, that hate, that rage, that anger, that vengeance, and you can turn it into something positive, right? And at the end of it, I'm gonna give y'all some examples, right, of what I mean. Movies that you probably all could watch. You know what I'm talking about? Like, or maybe some TV shows, right? So now, and as you can see and listen, my name is Rex Kain, the Flaming Angel. You know what I'm talking about. So we can go ahead and get started, right? So now, let's go ahead. So now, the shadow is not the enemy, you all. It is the untapped power, right? I want you all to really sit there and listen to that. The shadow that's inside of you is not the enemy. The thing about it is, it's not the enemy until you actually learn how to integrate it, because it very well can be the enemy if you don't use it correctly, right? And what do I mean by that? You got some people that get all this this rage, this hate, this anger, this pain, and they just, you know what I'm saying, carelessly throw their emotional weight around, right? Causing harm, causing destruction unnecessarily, right? But what if I told you that you could actually tame that actual power? You could make it something fierce, something strong, something that's deadly, right? But you don't have to fuck your life up in the process. So now, let's start with the first point. So now, listen, the shadow is everything that we repress: rage, fear, shame, desire, and vengeance, right? What is rage? The anger within, that seething ferocity that a person just has for a certain event, certain place, certain person, certain thing, you know what I'm talking about, certain experience, certain circumstance in general. It is that deep-seated aggression that seems like it's unquenchable. You see what I'm talking about? Like you just can't put it out. It's like a fire that's so hot, it got to burn out on its own, right? And no external means can really solve it, right? Then you have fear. What is fear? Fear is the shit that you're afraid of, the shit that you're scared of, right? We all have it to some degree, right? We all have it to some degree, right? Shame, feeling like, okay, damn, I'm not good enough, or you know what I'm talking about, I'm not what I think I am, or I'm doing this, I feel like this is right for me, but nobody else really agrees with it. So I feel like, man, am I slow? Am I retarded? Am I dumb? Am I worthless? Right? And these are some very bad things. I really want you all to really understand that. Then you have desire, right? A lot of that's a real shadow aspect, right? Because what is desire? Wanting something, craving something. You know what I'm talking about? Like I have to have this, right? And then you get vengeance. And I'm a big listen, I support vengeance when it's for just causes, right? And I'm gonna tell you why towards the end, right? So now the thing about it is these are some of the core traits that we have that are extremely negative if they aren't channeled correctly. And that's the truth, right? Their rage, snap at any moment, right? Their fear, it makes you hesitate. You can't really do shit that you want to do, right? Because of fear. Shame, you feel like you're not worthy enough, or you feel like that you're not good enough. You see what I'm saying? Or you feel like, you know what I'm saying, that you're being put on the spotlight, and some, not just by other people, but by your own damn mind, right? desire. You want something so bad. What are you willing to do to get it? And vengeance. You see what I'm saying? Unnecessarily trauma that probably causes more trauma in the end, right? I mean, it's just what it is. So now, let's look at it from this aspect. So now, the integration is not about purification. It is about claiming your wholeness. I want you all to understand that every inside of each man and each woman's heart, we have darkness. And that is the truth. Inside of every man and every woman, we have darkness inside of our heart, but we also have the light, right? However, what you have to understand is that the human heart, the human mind, the human emotions, right? What we are made up of is the light and the darkness clashing against each other, right? It is not until we learn how to truly merge those things, stop them from opposing each other, right? And learn how to integrate them together, right? Knowing that there's a time and there is a place to use it. Real talk, right? Thing about it is, so listen, we're comprised of the darkness and light clashing together until we actually learn how to integrate it. Then that's when we become truly strong, right? But until then, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Certain situations happen. You like, okay, do I need to snap or do I need to be calm, right? You see what I'm saying? What if you come in a situation where you do need to snap? Because I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit to you all. Sometimes you need to show aggression because that's a lot of times that's the only thing that humans respond to, right? How do you think the law keeps people in check, right? It's with fear, right? Fear and vengeance, right? You break this shit, we're gonna get on your head, we're gonna get on your ass. That's what keeps you know, it's about society in check. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? But what I want you all to really take from that is that, you know what I'm talking about, if you really want to make yourself stronger, please understand this. Just using purely light is not going to really get you that far. It's maybe as you think that it should get you in. Because I used to believe that light should be the only thing that really truly matters. You know what I'm talking about? Because who doesn't want the world to be good? Who doesn't want people to be nice? Who doesn't really want all this shit, right? But the truth of the matter is, human nature in and of itself has conflict literally built inside of its goddamn hardware and software. You see what I'm saying? So the thing about it is things around us evolve, right? But a lot of the core elements of what make up a human, of what have always made up a human, they're more likely are going to remain forever. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand when it's time to let loose and be a little bit fierce, be a little bit ferocious. Because if you don't, people are going to run over you. You have to understand that. You're gonna get bullied, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get talked about. That's just life, right? But the thing about it is how you respond to it. And that's the truth. It's about how you respond to it. Are you going to let people continue to run you over, or are you going to stand your ass up and do what the fuck you're supposed to do? That like for real, for real. You cannot always depend on well, they shouldn't do that. People don't really give a damn, right? You think they really care about you being liked? They do not. You have to be fierce. You have to be powerful, and that's just the truth, right? The governments know this, right? I hate to say it, the gangs and cartels know this. In order to really, you know what I'm talking about, defend who you are, you have to defend who you are. And that's not always, well, hey guys, no. Sometimes, and I'm not telling you to go out there and be an asshole and be just a dangerous maniac, but you have to understand when it's time to stand your damn ground and be like, listen, not today. Y'all not finna play with this shit over here. Take that shit over there. Because I'm willing to fight and defend, you know what I'm talking about, whatever I'm trying to protect, right? Whether it's the people around me or whether it's my ideas, opinions, and beliefs. Real talk, right? So now, thing about it is that dark aspect is a part of you. That's what I mean by claiming your wholeness. Not rejecting the darkness, but saying, you know what, listen, maybe I can use you in certain scenarios, certain cases. Real talk. So now power isn't found in denial, right? It is born when light meets the darkness within, right? And like I'm saying, that's when you truly become powerful because you got to remember, a lot of y'all believe that human nature is a multidimensional thing, right? Which it is, right? So let's look at that from this dualistic aspect, right? So you have the light, then you have the actual dark, right? So the thing about it is, wouldn't true power, you know what I'm talking about? Wouldn't true power be true to our nature if we merge everything that we are? You see what I'm saying? We take the good, we take the bad, and we jumble it all up and synthesize it. You see what I'm saying? And after we synthesize it, now it's able to be utilized for, you know, to map more rational, sometimes logical practices. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? So now you are not here to be harmless. You are here to be holy and dangerous, and you have to be, right? What's that phrase? You would rather be a warrior in a garden or some shit like that. If I'm getting it wrong, make sure y'all comment down below. You'd rather be a warrior in a garden than I forgot how it would go. Y'all get what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to say. You gotta learn to be dangerous, be spiritual, be dutiful, be respectful, be kind, be benevolent, but at the same time, if you have to tap into that dark side, then you have to tap into it. Because a lot of times that this rage, that fear, that vengeance, sometimes that shit can keep you alive. Let me tell you something. What if you get captured as a prisoner of war, POW in the military army, right? Think I'm gonna tell you, okay, you need to be light over there. No, you might need to use that rage, that fear, and that desire to escape and revenge on them from killing your comrades and hurting you. You gotta use it's a time and a place to use that shit. You're gonna be captured overseas. We don't know what the hell could happen to you. And I'm gonna say, just be nice and be just patient. No, you need to get the fuck out of there before they take your life. That's the truth. We can't always be nice all the time. Real talk. Learn when to use, right? So the thing about it is when life is sending you deadly stuff, you have to respond to it. And being nice and light, that shit ain't gonna always really fly. I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's move on to the next slide. Why integrating the shadow makes you unstoppable. So now you no longer run from your flaws, you weaponize them with awareness, right? And what do I mean by that? Like me, I'm a person, I'm temper prone. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be mad at the people who really don't deserve me being mad at, you know what I'm talking about? However, there is a certain level of anger that needs to be distributed out. You see what I'm saying? So I like to take my shit, I like to go boxing, right? I like to do knife military combat training. You see what I'm talking about? And you got to remember, in the midst of moving, you know what I'm talking about, getting your heart pumping and you know what I'm talking about, speeding up and striking and hitting whatever, you feel powerful in it, right? So it's better for me to do that somewhere safe that'll keep me out of jail versus going and just go, you know what I'm talking about, tear somebody ass up on the street, right? And then end up with violent felonies, losing gun licenses, losing jobs, all type of shit, right? You see what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, so put it like this. I'm gonna give you another example. Let's say, for instance, you a person that gets picked on and bullied on. You realize, okay, you ashamed that you weak, you scared of the bullies, right? Well, guess what? Use that rage, use that revenge. Get your ass in that gym and work out. Real talk. Get your ass in that gym and work out. Learn how to fight. Learn how to dodge hits. Learn how to take a punch, right? Use that fear of getting hurt, use that shame of feeling weak, and use that rage that you can't do shit about it, and that vengeance that you really want to get back and make yourself into a living weapon. However, do not let that shit take control of you, because some of y'all gonna do this shit and you're gonna feel unstoppable, right? Then you're gonna fuck around and put yourself in a situation you really truly don't want to be in. So what am I telling you? You need to be prepared. When I talk about the darkness, it's really having you in preparation because other people don't really care about who you are or what you got to say. And that's just the truth. So when you have to be ready for those type of people, you have to be ready to defend yourself. You have to be ready to fight for your life at all times. That's just the truth, right? And you think being light is gonna get you there? No, you gotta tap into that warrior energy, whether you're a woman or whether you're a man. You got to tap into that raw fire, aggressive energy, that wolf energy, that dragon energy. You got to tap into that shit. You understand? Now, manipulation, anger, lust, vengeance. Once unconscious, now refined into tools. Right? I'm gonna give you a prime example of the anger part. Go watch the movie called the. Matter of fact, two movies you should watch. Go watch The Beekeeper and go watch The Working Man. Some really good movies. The Beekeeper and The Working Man. As a matter of fact, go watch Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2, right? Them people got wrong and they said, you know what? Forget all this shit. Ain't nobody else finna come. So my thing is this. If we don't integrate this darkness, the other people who don't give a fuck whether they integrate or not, but still fully operating this shit in a more negative light, more negative aspect, they are always on the offense. They are always looking for somebody to harm and fuck up and take over and control and manipulate. You need to be able to withstand that and combat it. You think you finna be nice to people who are killers, murderers, scammers, people who want to destroy shit, people who don't really give a fuck, give a damn. You think what? Man, you better take all this. That's what I'm saying. It's a place for these things, right? It's not an everyday thing, right? Even when it comes to standing up to certain people, on a more lower end, be firm. I'm not going. I said no, and that's just it. All that other extra shit, no, I said, and that's just it. You all have to learn how to be like that. Now, you can see through others because you face what I mean, you can see through others because you face what's inside of yourself, right? That's the thing. So sometimes you might be able to recognize what other people going through. I probably been through what y'all have been through too. You see what I'm saying? And but from the pain I've experienced in my life, on top of the realism, on top of the hope, I formulated the plan together. I'm like, hold up, man, listen, we can use that anger, that hate, that rage and aggression. We ain't gotta fuck our life up. We can actually go make something out of ourselves. And matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. Do you think soldiers that are protecting their homeland is just light and nice? No. They very shadowy. They have that they're like, okay, I have to defend myself. Everybody is counting on me. Well, the reason I bring the point up is because if I see this shit in me and I see it in somebody else, you now have the tools to be able to guide somebody else that might need this information as well, right? So now the fourth one, right? You become uncorruptible, no fear, no guilt, no shame to exploit, and that's when you become truly strong. But all this shit truly starts from the mind frame, right? It all starts from the mind frame. Let me read that again. You become uncorruptible. You understand that? No fear, no guilt, no shame to exploit. Because what you have to understand is about human nature. Your enemies are always looking to find something about you to destroy you. They're always plotting on you. I'm gonna keep it 100. Your enemies ain't gonna never give you a break, and they ain't gonna never give your ass a pass. You understand that? So your mind got to be sharp as a knife. Your mind got to be sharp as a knife, and your body got to be like fucking steel. You understand that? Ain't nobody finna play with you, and that's how the real the world is, right? Thing about it is, but when it comes to the mental manipulation, that's what get even the toughest of warriors. Men and women, do not let the opposite gender mess your mind up, or the same gender. A lot of y'all get confused with love and some expectations, and that's why a lot of y'all end up in bad relationships, hurt, damage. You so damaged from a teenager, you carry that shit all the way into your 20s and 30s and shit. The thing about it is because y'all mind isn't ironclad enough, and yes, we have to go through experiences, what I'm talking about, and have epiphanies, spiritual awakenings. But I'm telling y'all, listen, you don't have to learn from every single mistake. Some of this shit y'all bring on y'all self. But the thing about it is, you got to be you got to be a weapon against yourself, a weapon against your insecurities, a weapon against your laziness, a weapon against your doubts, a weapon against your own procrastination, because those things are going to hold you back. So you have to combat that shit as well, right? I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's go to the next one. So now, this is the last one on the slide, right? So now the thing about what y'all got to understand is this. So now listen, this is the alchemy of the inner beast, right? So now, light without darkness is blind, right? Darkness without light is lost. You understand that? Let me read it again. Light without darkness is blind, right? But darkness without light is lost. What I want you all to understand is this, y'all. Listen. Take your ass right now and go stare at the sun. You can't really do that shit. That shit might blind the hell out you. Real talk. Now let me tell you this. Um, go in the forest, take your phone, well, a completely dark forest, take your phone, throw it up, wherever it land, and go try to find that shit. You might have a hard time unless you can see really, really, really good in the dark, right? Real talk. So it's best to merge both of them together. So either scenario, you're prepared, right? Now just understand. I'm just saying. So right now, listen. Integration equals the inner marriage of divine order and primal chaos, right? So the thing about it is, you're taking that divine aspect, but also that chaotic primordial energy and merging. I mean, shit. That's what human nature is really made up off of, right? Look in the real world. We see good, we see bad, we see all type of shit. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? Do we or do we not? So the thing about it is, all you doing is just harnessing the raw energy of what we already truly are made up of, and you just using that shit in a more beneficial aspect, right? So now, the beast isn't evil, it's raw creation. It just needs a king to rule it. A lot of us do have these inner beasts that people just don't know how to control. You're not really aware of how to really, you know what I'm talking about, make that shit work for you. Instead, a lot of time what happens is that people end up getting taken over by these actual shadowy traits. Real talk. A lot of times they can't rectify the shit because they don't know how to. They don't even have anybody in their corner trying to show them how the hell do you how can you how can you make vengeance and anger and hate and rage shit positive? I mean shit, let me tell you this. When it comes to those more negative shadow traits, you're not trying to go out here and use this shit against people just willy nilly. The majority of the shit I'm telling y'all is really for self defense purposes and you know what I'm saying, and internal confidence in yourself, right? Because check this out. If you getting bullied, you need to feel some rage. You need to feel some aggression. So you can get your ass up and get stronger and be able to defend yourself, right? Somebody might say, no, you should just call the authorities or your nearest guidance counselor, whatever the hell y'all be saying. Y'all, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody gonna always be there for you. And everybody ain't gonna always be there for you. Even if they come, they might not be there in time. You have to be strong enough to face your own problems on your own. That's just the truth. Because if you aren't, you got to remember, you subject to fall to any and everybody, right? That don't sound like a good. That don't sound like a good life. You always waiting to depend on somebody else to come and exert the force as you should be exerting, right? Real shit. I'm just giving the buck. Hopefully, you all don't take this video and go and just go act like an asshole. No, thing about it is you gotta be firm in your decisions, right? Ironclad. Stop letting the world get to you all's mind. That's a big problem, right? Because the thing about it is a lot of y'all problems stem from y'all expectations of how life should be and how people should be. Y'all listen, this is where anything goes. I'm just keeping it a buck. Anything goes. You have to have a mind frame that really truly understand that anything goes. And that shit is real. It don't matter what you, well, maybe I wish it was like this. That's not fair. The universe really don't give a fuck if it's fair. You want to know why? The universe been letting this shit go on for since the dawn of time. Stop thinking the universe really truly give a damn about human suffering. The universe ain't tried to stop that shit yet. Matter of fact, the universe keep birthing people in this mud to keep terrorizing shit. And they keep birthing people like me and you who should be strong enough to stop these motherfuckers from terrorizing shit and take their ass down. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? The dragon within doesn't die. It bows when the soul takes the actual throne, right? You understand that? That beast, that untamable, you know what I'm saying, volatile, bestial energy you have inside of you, that cosmic, you know what I'm talking about, deadly dragon that you have inside, that you have inside you. I was waiting on you. All it's waiting for is you to be a strong king or a strong queen, strong emperor, strong empress, strong leader, just period in general, right? Because the thing about it is, beasts need to be subjugated, right? This I'm just keeping it a buck. Just like all these very virile and repressed things that I discussed in this video. You need to take that shit and subjugate it. Don't let it control you. You control it. You direct it. Real talk. Instead of directing all that anger, hate, and pain at the people who really love and care about you, you use that shit in defense when somebody really trying to come hurt you. Or you use it in a certain type of defense when you have to defend yourself and your name and your legacy, right? It's just a lot of ways to look at this shit because I'm telling you, y'all, listen, and you have to defend shit. If somebody say, hey, I'm finna come and take your house, we finna come rob you, and you can't even call the police. Okay, so you just gonna sit there and be quiet? No, you're gonna have to tap real dark shit just to stop their ass. So I'm just keeping it a buck. So stop thinking that the darkness got to be something completely bad or devilish or evil and cruel. That when in reality, y'all feel these feelings every day, but y'all don't know how to channel that shit and when to use that shit. That's why y'all ass end up in jail, get in trouble, fucking up relationships, fucking up family, fucking up friendships, all type of shit, fucking up jobs. Y'all don't know when to control this shit. The thing about it is every battle don't have to be fought physically. I'm just keeping it a buck. But yes, y'all, I just want y'all to really understand where I was coming from this actual video. So I will be making more content like this. It's way more easy, way more of a better visual representation. You know what I'm talking about? And listen, this is all my actual platforms up here, right? Facebook in front of Rex, IG, you know, Rex Kain, 2 N's, and TikTok or whatever, of course. But yes, y'all, listen, y'all ass have a good day. And make sure you remember, y'all, listen, if you don't protect yourself, can you really truly count on somebody else to do it for you at all times? Keeping that shit real. But other than that, y'all have a good rest of y'all evening, day, wherever the hell you at in the world. Peace.